Hello and welcome to the seventh episode of the Cricket Preview Podcast with Jay and Sudeep. And what an incredible World Cup final! As we have been saying, 20-team World Cup, it's going to be an incredible and final did not disappoint at all. Welcome to everyone and welcome Jay. Say something about the finals.
Hello, Sudeep, and hello, everyone. Fantastic final, I think. Like we mentioned, we predicted before the semifinals that India will go all the way this time because they have been through many upsets in the past. I think losing three back-to-back finals, you had to say that something had to be the different this time, and indeed it was. So I think truly well deserved for India. Really great performance from South Africa throughout the tournament and also in the final. But I think some things, I guess, are written. And overall, we got to see a really good final. No interruption from rain, which was good. And yeah, I think overall, I think we can say that cricket was the real winner.
Yes, and I think after disappointing semifinals, it was not to the level we were scared. Finals are gonna be one-sided, and Klaasen made it look like it's gonna be one-sided for a while with a 25 run over of Akshar Patel. But how well did India bounce back? 30 from 30 needed. What a strong-headed pace bowling lineup we saw today.
Definitely. I think the Bumrah factor was always going to be important in this game. I think before the game, if you had asked Bumrah and Kuldeep were the two main men for India with the ball, but Kuldeep didn't have the best day. I think Klaasen and also Miller got to him, but Bumrah, what a great bowler he is. He's a champion bowler, one of the best white ball bowlers. I think in all formats he's good, but I think in the white ball he's one of the goats. Definitely one of the top bowler, and what a spell it was. I think until Bumrah, we thought Bumrah was maybe a little bit too late. Rohit brought him after the AKSHAR over when I think South Africa required 52 off about six, and then it came down to run a ball almost, I think 30 from 30, and then Bumrah showed his magic. Two beautiful overs. He kept it very tight and built the pressure. And you also have to give credit to ARSHDEEP, who has been the unsung hero, the highest wicket taker of the tournament, along with Faruqi, sorry. But yeah, I think overall everyone stepped up from that point, especially Bumrah, ARSHDEEP, and also HARDIK. Let's not forget he bowled two crucial overs during the death. So I think overall it was the bowlers who made India champion today, for sure.
Yeah, before we get into the actual bowling, that was a moment of the game, the bowling, and the bowling has been winner in this World Cup. With the T20 World Cup, we always talk about batsmen hitting runs and scoring big, but this World Cup was for the bowlers. Before getting into that, we have to come back. India winning the toss, choose to batting first, as they have done so far. And I was just watching Rohit's post-match interview, and he was saying that's how he likes it. He likes runs on the board, and then he has the bowling lineup that can defend any total on any given day. And didn't start well. Rohit didn't start well, but we talked about Virat Kohli in the last episode, and he came good on a big day.
Definitely. I think when India started with the bat, they showed the intent straight away. And Kohli started off nicely with three boundaries and Rohit with two boundaries. So it looked happy days for India. But then South Africa came back strongly, taking those three wickets, including Pant, Rohit, and Surya Kumar Yadav. But I think it was a masterstroke from India to send Akshar Patel up the batting order. They had the right left-hand combinations instead of sending Hardik in. And it worked. I think Virat used all his experience, played really sensibly, giving the stride to Akshar, and Akshar targeted some spin bowling, and he played really well. Even hit six. He hit 4 sixes, I think. So that was really good counter attack, and also playing sensibly at the same time. So that was really a masterstroke from the Indian management, captain, whoever made that call. And also, let's not forget Shivam Dube played some handy innings, and those runs at the end proved to be crucial. And yes, Virat Kohli, you never doubt the class of the man. He didn't have the greatest of the tournaments. He himself admitted it in the post match, but come with the man, like they say. And yes, he delivered today, and especially after the 50, he accelerated and made it a really competitive total on that pitch for India. So well done to Virat Kohli signing off at the high. So yeah, definitely that was definitely one of the highlights of the day for sure.
Yeah, and I think team had a very good backing of for Virat Kohli. We saw Rahul Dravid in an interview yesterday or the day before. He was like, he didn't want to jinx it, but he
Six,
knew
yeah.
that something big is coming up, and Virat never disappoints. It's been a tough tournament for him, and he accepted that he was not feeling as good as he used to feel while batting. So, and but he wins man of the match in the finals. What a great way to leave the T20 internationals. Of course, we are going to miss him in the Blues. And of course, we are going to miss another big player in the Blues who has done fantastic captainship from last year. We have seen him attacking. He did the same in this tournament as well, taking a charge up front. Rohit Sharma, how incredible he was in this tournament.
Not only this tournament, I think ever since he took the captaincy, and especially I think after 2022, the disappointment after the England game, he really stepped up and he changed the style that Indian team played in all the white ball format, not only in the T20 but also in the previous World Cup where we saw until that final. I think you could see that India, and even on the final, Rohit himself set up the intent, and yeah, unfortunately for India, that had outplayed India. But you could see that the team had Rohit's impact all over the place from that moment, and I think the team never looked back from there on. They had the team selection. I think Rohit had a big role in selecting that team because he went with the power hitters and all rounders with the bat because he knew that if they have to play the style Rohit wants to play, they have to they have to have batting until the lower order. So they had that, and it was really planned well by Rohit, and also he played two crucial knocks against Australia and England. I think that also set the tone against two big teams. It was crucial wins also, but yeah, overall, his captaincy, his style of play, everything. I think Rohit he was a class act, and it felt like he really deserved this moment because we saw him in tears after after the last game. Also, so yeah, I think overall, his captaincy, his batting, and the way he led the team, it felt like he deserved this moment. And yeah, what a way to end his T20 career for both Rohit and Virat.
And I think Rohit has been incredible with his team supporting the youngsters and giving them the clear message. Whatever was coming out in the interviews, he was sure that the opening combination is fixed. Third, fourth, fifth, sixth, they may have to bat at any order, and that we saw with Akshar Patel a couple of times. He came up. We were expecting Sky to bat number three, but Rishabh came most of the times at number three. So I think the messaging with the young boys and the team and outside even it was very clear that how the team is going to play, and I think that's the reason behind his success. And he has said many times that he wanted to win the World Cup, and he is signing off one of the greats of the cricket. Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli, both with more than 4,000 runs in international cricket, both are signing off on a very high. We love them. We have watched them for a long, long while. I think 2007, 8, when both of them started playing up. And Rohit Sharma, especially, he started with T20 World Cup, won the World Cup, and he's signing off with winning another T20 World Cup. So great. And some coming youngsters, we'll talk about them in a while. And another big, Hardik Pandya in a moment of couple of months, not even months, I would say, he has become an Indian icon in few days.
Definitely. We also talked about him, I think, before our last episode, that he has been one of the pleasant surprises for India. And I think even in the semi-final and today, he delivered with the ball as well as bat. So that has been really, especially the temperament he has shown in this World Cup. We all remember not so long ago, he was being booed by his own fans. So that was definitely not nice. He also mentioned today that he had some issues going behind the scenes that he'd been struggling with. So that's To be able to keep that all aside and to perform the way he has in this World Cup has to be commended. And like you mentioned, when he got emotional, I think he made a lot of people emotional today, because yeah, I think we all could feel what he went through when he cried. He was literally weeping, almost like he is a grown man. But I think seeing that. Uh, I think a lot of people in India and also got really emotional. So that was a really touchy moment. Also, I think he deserved that because defending 16 in the last over when Miller was on strike was not easy. I think, yeah, you have to give credit to Surya. What a catch that was. That was really a match-defining catch. But yeah, you cannot take anything away from Hardik, the way he has bowled and batted in this tournament. So yeah, hats off to Hardik for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And before we come to other players who has been incredible in this tournament, Sky Suryakumar Yadav didn't have as good as tournament he would have wanted. He had a couple of good games. He played a good balancing knocks in the middle, but this catch shuts everyone off. And this is the World Cup. He didn't catch that ball. He caught the World Cup.
Definitely, it felt like that during that moment because had that gone for six, I think I would have bought the question 10 from 5, and I think yeah, Hardik Pandey would have been in a lot of pressure. But yeah, once the catch was held, it was not an easy catch. I think catch of the tournament easily. In the last game against Australia, I think it was AKSHAR who took a brilliant catch in the boundary, and now Surya Kumar Yadav. So these catches really define games, and in this case, it defined the World Cup. So he will look back. Everyone will look back to this catch, and it will always be remembered for sure.
I'm sure he's going to win the dressing room best fielding award from India. So definitely a very good team effort. And one more player that I want to talk about from India is ARSHDEEP Singh. But we had our reservations with him. He was doing good in IPL, but didn't come out much well in Indian squad. But what an incredible over today! The last one he bowled before Hardik Pandya, the one he bowled. Perfect Yorkers, perfect length. He knew what he was bowling, and 17 wickets in the tournament, highest wicket taker along with Faruqi, as you mentioned. He's going to be a very good prospect for India going ahead.
Definitely, I think when India won the World Cup in 2007, it was RP Singh who was the unsung hero. He was also a left-arm pacer. He bowled extremely well in that World Cup. People don't talk about him as much. And I remember in 2011, it was Zahir who got all the attention, but it was also Munaf Patel who did his job behind the scenes. And if you talk about this World Cup, I think Bumrah will get most attention, rightly so. But I think you cannot overlook the performance of ARSHDEEP throughout the tournament. He's been really consistent. I didn't expect him to shine in this World Cup, coming off of a decent IPL, but before that he didn't have such a great time when he played for India. So he was never so consistent, but I think this tournament he has proved me and also other naysayers wrong, because he has been fantastic. His variations, his ability to bowl those Yorkers in the end today, he showed a complete package throughout the World Cup, and definitely he will be remembered, hopefully, as one of the unsung heroes for India in this World Cup.
And I think definitely he'll get chances going ahead in the World Cups and the IPL, where he will be the main hero of the World Cup. Before we move away from Indian team, I would like to talk about one more player, BAPU, Akshar Patel. Had great knock today. And I think as we were talking in our chat group with our other friends, and we were like, Akshar Patel got one extra over. Match would have gone anyway from that angle. But his batting today was incredible. He has, as you rightly mentioned, he had taken a great catch in the match before. But he has, whatever role has been given to him, he has performed above his level. We were again reserved about playing Jadeja and Akshar Patel both in the playing 11. But I think he lived to the confidence that Rohit Sharma has given to him, and he has played an incredible inning. How did you see his progress in the tournament?
Yeah, I think when we talked about the unsung heroes, I think we can talk about everyone when team wins the cup, because it's a team game, team sport. But like you mentioned today, I think those runs uh, that he made today, because he not only made some quick runs, he also allowed Virat, who was not looking in great form, to get settled in the crease and to play his natural game really. And again, I think the difference between the previous year's India and this year's India, because remember in the semi-final against New Zealand, India also lost three quick wickets, but they never could recover on that occasion. And of course, the run out of MS that we all remember. But I think in the past, again, game against Pakistan, also they lost the top order quickly. So I think previous experiences, the team that has been through, I think that gave them the idea, and they backed Akshar to come, because I think in the let's say in years past he was seen mainly as a bowler who can bat a little bit, but I think over last couple of years his batting has come along a long way, and he showed that today. I think not only did he play the spinners really well, he also hit some really good hits against the fast bowlers of South Africa. So that was really nice, and we saw Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma announcing retirement today. So if I don't know if he's thinking about it, but if Jadeja is thinking along the lines, I think India has a replacement ready in Akshar. So that's going to put India in a really good place going forward. So
Yeah, definitely. We'll come to the young generation that has Jadeja didn't look so good in the tournament, but we never know. I think Jadeja has. I think how the team is looking, they will look Jadeja for one more year or a few more years. That's coming into 2026 World Cup. But we never know. He's fit. He has still good feeling, and but yeah, Akshar. We have seen for a year or so now, he has been good with the bat, even in Test cricket. So I think he's good with the bat. And as you rightly said, he's going to be perfect replacement for Jadeja if it has ever to come in all three formats, not only T20I. So I think that's what most about the Indian players who did fantastically well throughout the tournament. We have talked a little bit about Kuldeep in the past and Siraj for whatever games he got, he played really well. So moving ahead, South Africa, I think if it was not for India, most of the world would have wanted South Africa to win the World Cup. It was their first finals. They have been around for a very, very long time, and they have never won a World Cup trophy. And I think people wanted them to win, but a sad story continues, choking again with the 30 of 30 required. How did you see their team?
yeah, I think we can talk about South Africa and talking for a long time, because they have the history of it, and I think through this World Cup, it seems like they overcome it for the most part. They came through unscathed without losing any games. So, and even today, I think at one point when Klassen and Miller were batting, it looked like they should have had the game in hand, because, yeah, like you said, uh, 24 of 24 or 30 of 30 should have been quite easy, and the game should have been in the bag. But somehow they found a way to lose. And again, we talked about this last time. We still remember the game that we played against them and lost by 1 run. It felt cruel to our boys at that time, and today it feels cruel to South Africa, because they have been one of the better teams of the tournament. I think other than India, they definitely have been the second best team. There was no doubt. I think India has been the better team throughout the tournament, and I think they deserve to be the champions. But I think overall, South African team could hold their head high. They have found some really nice youngsters in this tournament, and their captain, like we talked greatly in our previous episode, has come leaps and bounds. He has led the team really well. Even today, after those first 5 boundaries, he trusted his left arm spinner in the power play, and he brought the team back in the game really. So I think overall, South African cricket looks to be improving, and if they keep making it to the finals, I'm sure they will win at some point. So uh, yeah, I hope that they win something in the future, because they are really a giant cricketing nations. They are a proud sports nation. And yeah, you feel a little bit bad for South Africa, but I think even they would agree that India deserved it more today.
Yeah, and I think they were good for the most part of the game, just except the last 5 overs. They were pretty good. They were competitive. Tristan Stubbs, the youngster that we are talking about in South African team, who has lots of years that he has gonna play for the team, and this experience of the final would certainly help him going ahead. Klassen must have few more years going with him. Markram is still young. I think he's going to be captain for a while for South Africa. So they have a good team. But I have a Quentin de Kock. He has not done that justice to his talent and whatever we expect from him. How do you think, is he the prospect still going ahead in the next World Cup, because he doesn't play other formats anymore? And do you think South Africa should look towards a young opener coming up, or should they stick with Quentin de Kock?
Yeah, I think I'll be really surprised if they stick with Quinton de Kock, to be honest, because he hasn't had the best of tournaments, even though he played some one or two good knocks. But I think the time has come for South Africa, especially in the T20, I would say, to build for 20. Again, we talk about this for every team, because the T20 cycle for this World Cup is now over. So they'll have to look into ODI cycle, but T20 World Cup will come in 3 years of time. So every team will have the opportunity to rebuild. And I think many teams would probably come to the end of the cycle. Like England, for example, will also look to grow their new talent, like Will Jacks, and probably move on from the likes of Bairstow and Moeen Ali, for example. So I think I see a similar story for South Africa, really. I think Quinton de Kock would be one of the person. Maybe David Miller will probably not play the 2027 World Cup. So he might be another person. Again, he had a good World Cup, but he might also be someone that South Africa be looking to move on. So I think for the most part, it will be easier for South Africa if they make their own decisions. Like we've been critical about some of the Indian players in the past. I think it will be easiest if Quinton de Kock and Miller decide to kind of uh, leave it by themselves. But even if they don't, they'll have to have a clear vision moving forward. And I think I'll be really surprised if Quinton de Kock will be around come next World Cup. So I
Yeah.
see that thing happen.
Yeah, as we say, cricket is the game of inches. That Surya Kumar Yadav catch. If it would have been inches here and there, we would have been talking different story about Miller. But that's, I think, yeah, it's good time for South Africa to move on and build on to the new team. And talking about the players retiring and moving ahead, one player that we saw growing up, he was captain of Indian team. He was the wall of the Indian cricket team, never had touched the World Cup. And as a coach, finally he does it, and you saw the excitement and the energy in him while he was lifting the cup. How happy are you for Rahul Dravid?
Definitely. I think I had the pleasure to meet him when he was in Florida. Such a nice guy. Had a nice chat with him. So yeah, like you mentioned, looking up, he was the wall of India, and he truly changed the face of Indian cricket team with the bat first, because in those overseas test matches he was the rock for India, and again he started from under 19, and then he led India A, and then coming to the main team. I think he's been quite unlucky because again in his regime they've lost 3 finals in a row, so including all formats, of course. So that was definitely disappointing for us to see. So I think he definitely deserved to be getting this kind of send off. And yeah, we could see from his emotions, it was so raw, it was pure. So yeah, really happy for Rahul. He's a legend of the game. He's a legend for India. And maybe if the fairy tale gods have another plan, he might be going back to Bangalore, and maybe he will lead RCB to a title. So that's probably going to be the fairy tale ending. But I think for now, as far as Indian team is concerned, I think he deserved it. Really, so happy for him. So yeah, good luck for him to spend more time with family, I think he'll probably be sticking around in the IPL. I'm sure teams will be looking to build the team with Rahul, so he'll get that a chance for sure.
I'm sure Virat Kohli wants him in the RCB camp and win and maybe sign off IPL with an IPL trophy. I'm sure Virat Kohli is looking for that, but that would be talk for another day. But again, with the raw emotions, as you said rightly, from we saw that from Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, all those teary eyes. I think Rohit Sharma was crying in semi-final, and then in the final, we saw that absolute raw emotions. And I saw his post-match interview. It was very difficult for him to talk, and while he was announcing his retirement as well. And both the legends are, yeah, that was hats off. That was
Yes.
great, definitely. And as both of them sign off, we have very young prospects of Indian cricket. We have seen them in IPL, and we wanted them in the team as well this year. But I think it was, as you said, fairy tale story written for both of them, Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli. Going ahead, if you see who are the players you see, the youngsters from Indian team who will be replacing those two big shoes.
Yeah, big shoes to fill for sure. If you miss players like them who have been captains, great players, made more than 4,000 runs each in the format, so it'll be not an easy shoe to fill. But I think Indian setup, especially with the IPL, the youngsters are coming really fast. We saw one of the greatest talent coming through in international cricket, SSV Jaiswal. He didn't get a game in the World Cup, so I think he's ready to fill in one of the opening positions. I think Shubman Gill would be other one. I think I can see India going into 2027 World Cup with these two as potential openers. With I think Ruturaj Gaikwad would be another one, would be knocking the door. I think these three would be, I think, in the pole position right now to replace these two stalwarts of Indian cricket. I think leadership is going to be a tricky one, a challenging topic, because it doesn't seem like they have a ready-made candidate for the captaincy in T20. But who do you think, if I had to put you on the spot right now, who do you think the management will put their trust on going into the, let's say, building for the 2027 World Cup?
I was saving that question for you, but anyways, I think it's gonna be Hardik Pandya. I think they had given him chances a couple of times, and I think he's there's no doubt the booing and everything going on in Mumbai is going to stop now. He's going to be cheered up as loud as any other cricketer in Indian team goes. So I think Hardik Pandya is going to be the captain as long as he keeps himself fit. That's a big challenge with Hardik always, because he cannot fit as a batsman in the team. He has to be an all-rounder, as he has proven rightly in the squad right now in this World Cup. So as long as he's fit, and 2020 and the next World Cup is not that far, I think, and he has age in his on his side, so he can play 2-3 more years, and probably he will be the captain in the ODI side as well. Depends on Rohit how long, because there's the Champions Trophy ODI coming up. I think Rohit is certainly going to stick until then, but what happens after that, we never know. So I'm sure it's going to be Hardik Pandya, and as India have announced team for the Zimbabwe, and Shubman Gill is the captain on that side. So I think Hardik Pandya and Shubman Gill are going to be the leadership role in the leadership roles going ahead. And so saying that, I think still we are going to miss Rohit and Virat, of course, in this blue jersey in T20 World Cup. But I think they are the greats, and they took a very right decision of retiring at the right time. And we'll still enjoy them in ODI and Test match, of course. There's no other greats than Virat Kohli in Test cricket and ODI. So, of course, we are going to enjoy them. And with that, I would like to thank all our viewers and all our friends in the chat group who have been giving us special suggestions about the podcast. Thank you guys all for listening, and we'll soon come back with an episode of Nepal T20 World Cup journey. And thank you, Joy, for your time.
Yeah, like you mentioned, yeah, thank you everyone who's been really kind and listening to our episodes and providing those nuggets for us to use during our podcast. And yeah, thank you everyone. And yeah, keep subscribing, keep liking, and we'll keep those videos coming for you. So yeah, take care everyone. And yeah, once again, congratulations to the Indian cricket team.